Hi there. In the UK right now, it's 6:30 in the evening and it's New Year's Eve. I understand that for a lot of other people, it will already be New Year's Day. Um, I want to wish everybody a blessing for next year. Um, I hope that for all of us, 2012 is a better new year. It's a better year than the one that's gone. Um, my hope is that all of us will have um, a healthier new year. I'm going to hopefully have try and get myself healthy as well. That all of us will have the blessing of continuing to the adventure of growing as people. All of us will be continuing that adventure of trying to not make ourselves small but expand, if you like, ourselves. Being able to love ourselves and others as ourselves. My prayer for this year is that we have joy and peace, and that we grow in the fruit of patience, kindness to ourselves and kindness to others. That there is goodness and faithfulness, and that we will have wisdom and self-control, and not to get into the scrapes. And when we do get into scrapes, not to beat ourselves up, but to learn from them and to do better. I'm hoping that we will have prosperity. And I don't just mean material prosperity, because you can have loads and loads of money and still be miserable. But we'll have prosperity in terms of making new friendships, and enriching ourselves and enriching others in the process, personally, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually. So I'm hoping and praying that better times are coming. And for me personally, I've had many experiences that, to me at least, point to something beyond a greater meaning, a greater purpose, that a greater intelligence is at work, and that intelligence is benevolent. I want to share something very personal with you. I have shared it in other videos as well. But back in 2003, when I used to go and visit my dying mum, 2002, 2003, she was facing the horrors of Parkinson's and dementia. And I used to hold her hand and I used to look into her eyes. And I definitely had a sense that there was a greater presence there who was sort of holding us both and gently caring for us both. And I think that that sense of presence is an almost universal experience. Many, many people have had that both inside and outside of their respective religions or faiths. It does seem like a universal. And my hope, my faith is that there is something beyond this life. There is something that makes it all worthwhile. That struggle for justice, the struggle for freedom, the struggle to be free from emotional bondage, the struggle to be happy and to allow that happiness to flow to the people around us. I'm hoping that is the case, and I'm reminded of two things really. Well, there's lots more than two things. I only have three things actually. One of them is this: there's a beautiful statement in John's Gospel, in John's letter, that says that God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God, and God lives in him. And that is one thing that really inspires me. That when I aim to live in love, when I aim to love myself and to love others as myself, that's a move in the right direction. The second thing that I'm reminded of is a David Bowie song and some lines from it. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. And he told us not to lose it because he knows it's all worthwhile. And I'm not quite sure about the starman, but I think there is something more. And then last but not least is a little story from a book called Little Prayers of a Mouse. And I used to read this to my mother. And her favourite one was this little prayer from a mouse. And this little mouse says, the flowers smell beautiful today. So do the weeds. Each one has its own place to grow. Beautiful. Oh God, plant me in your heart. And I know that this was especially meaningful to Mum, and she used to love me to read it to her. And it's meaningful to me as well. Now I know some people may not be believing in God, or their ideas of God may be tied up closely to the former religion. But there is, regardless of that, there is something beautiful about the idea of living in love and being planted in the heart of the beneficent heart of something greater than ourselves. And that's my offering for you. May you be very, very blessed in 2012. Thank you for listening.